الرحمن الرحيم والذي جاء بالصدق وصدق به أولئك هم المتقون صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. The verse which I have recited from Surah Zumar, chapter 39, verse number 33. وَالَّذِي جَاءَ بِالصِّدْقِ, the one who came with truth, وَصَدَّقَ بِهِ, and the one who believed in it, the one who accepted it, and the one who testified it. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقُونَ, those are the righteous. لَهُمْ مَا يَشَاءُونَ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ, they will have whatever they desire. ذَلِكَ جَزَاءُ الْمُحْسِنِينَ, that is the reward of the muhsinin, the good doers. In Surah Zumar, verse number 33 and 34, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the one who came with Siddiq. And according to Mufassirin, is Sayyeduna, Nabiyuna wa Rasuluna wa Imamuna wa Qa'iduna Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And the one who accepted, the first person who accepted this message, who accepted this divine revelation, and who accepted the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the prophethood of his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Sayyeduna Rasulullah, was Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. There are many verses in Quran where Sayyeduna Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu praised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as I said, there are various aspects of life of Sayyiduna Siddiq Akbar, only few will mention. First of all, we have to understand that relation and understanding of Siddiq Akbar, Sayyiduna Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu with the Prophet, with Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, since he was 16 or 18, had a friendship with Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this friendship continued until now. When you visit the Gumbad-e-Khadra, you will see next to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam Sayyidina Siddiq Akbar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and it will continue in hereafter, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Hakada nub'athu yawm al-qiyamah." On the day of judgment, the people see the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam on right side Sayyidina Siddiq Akbar, and on left side Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, as mentioned in Sahih Hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hakada nub'athu yawm al-qiyamah, the day of judgment we will be in the same picture, the same manzar you will see on day of judgment and yawm al-qiyamah. So character of Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not strange to Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. The akhlaq of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the character, the sidq, amana, diyana, honesty, dignity. He was well aware of various aspects of life of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is the one reason the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Ma aradtul Islam ala ahadin illa kanat lahu indahu kabwatun." In some ahadith taraddudun, in some ahadith nadharun, in various versions, illa Aba Bakrin, and in some ahadith ghayra Abi Bakrin, فإنه لم يتلعثم I presented Islam to everyone, and every single person, everybody, everyone thought over it. At least for a while, no one responded directly first time to me, illa Abu Bakrin, Aba Bakrin, aw ghayra Abi Bakrin. But this is not the case of Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala. Means he is the only one from all others. When I presented the message of Islam, when I invited him to Islam, he accepted Islam without any hesitation. So the wording of a hadith, which is many muhaddithin mentioned, right from Allama ibn Asir to Imam Balazari in Ibn Asakir, everybody or every person had some taraddud, kabwatun, taraddudun, aw nadarun, ghayra Abi Bakrin. Without any hesitation, accepting the message of Islam is the honor and reward of Sayyeduna Siddiq Akbar radiyallahu ta'ala. And there are some other reasons, the historian says. Sayyeduna Siddiq Akbar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, in the period of Jahiliyyah, was very, you know the period of Jahiliyyah, when we mention the period of Jahiliyyah, people were polluted with drinking, with alcohol, with adultery and many other qaba'ih. Sayyidina Siddiq Akbar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was away from drinking alcohol in the period of Jahiliyyah, was pure from worshipping any idols in the period of Jahiliyyah. दौरे जाहिलियत में भी सैयदना सिद्दीक़ अकबर रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु ने न तो बुतों की इबादत की थी, न शराब नोशी और इन कबाहतों से अपने आप को आलूदा किया था. And he was asked, why you're not drinking, so common in our society? And he said, this is against the dignity. I have seen people drunk, the way they behave, the way they respond, the way they do things. He said, this is against the dignity of a human being. इंसान की मुरव्वत के खिलाफ है. मैं जब इन शराब पीने वालों को देखता हूँ, इनकी हरकतें देखता हूँ, इनके तौर अतवार देखता हूँ और इनकी हालत देखता हूँ, यानी उस वक्त दौरे जाहिलियत में सैयदना सिद्दीक़ अकबर रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु को जो डिग्निटी और ऑनर और मुरव्वत इस्लाम ने सिखाई, सैयदना सिद्दीक़ अकबर रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु को अल्लाह ने दौरे जाहिलियत में अता की थी. चूंकि उस वक्त इस्लाम का मैसेज तो नहीं था, तो वो जो हम कहते हैं ना कि कुछ चीज़ें बंदे की नेचर में होती हैं कि इंसान एक ऑनर के साथ रहना चाहता है, एक डिग्निटी के साथ, एक वक़ार के साथ रहना चाहता है, मुरव्वत के साथ रहना चाहता है. आपने फरमाया जो इंसानी मुरव्वत है ये शराब नोशी उसके खिलाफ है. और मैंने जब गलियों शहराओं में लोगों की हालत देखी है तो मैं इस बात गवारा नहीं करता कि इस चीज़ को पीने के बाद उस हालत में मुझे कोई देखे, उस हालत में कोई मेरा मुशाहदा करे. और यही हालत उनकी बुत परस्ती के बारे में थी कि जब पहली मर्तबा एक दफ़ा उनका वालिद ले गया तो उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं, ये तफसील है उसमें, उन तमाम तफसीलात में नहीं जाता, कि न खिला सकते हैं, न पिला सकते हैं, न काम आ सकते हैं. जो खुद मोहताज हैं वो हमारी हाजतें क्या पूरी करेंगे? Those who are need help and made and fabricated by people, how they can help and support us? So this was the common sense used by Sayyidina Siddiq Akbar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu in the period of Jahiliyyah. अल्लाह तबारक व तआला ने आपको दौरे जाहिलियत में उन कबाए से और उन नापाकियों से पाक रखा और नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की रफ़ाकत और मईयत में आपको ये एजाज़ बख्शा। जब इस्लाम का सूरज तुलू हुआ तो सबसे पहले उसे कबूल करने वाले सिद्दीक़ अकबर रज़ी अल्लाह ताला। There is a hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Inna li waziraini min ahli samai wa waziraini min ahli al-ard." I have two heavenly ministers and two ministers on earth. Fa amma waziraya min ahli sama, my two ministers in heaven. Fa Jibril wa Mikail, one is Jibril and one is Mikail. So that the heavenly minister, Jibril and Mikail, wa waziraya min ahli al-ard Abu Bakr wa Umar. And my two ministers on earth are Abu Bakr and Umar. And some historian mentioned the khutbah of Sayyeduna Ali karamallahu ta'ala wajhul kareem when he departed from this world. And having this in your mind, and he says, Abu Bakr, Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, the both eyes of the Prophet through which he used to see things, and the ears of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam through which he used to hear things. वज़ीराया मिन अहलिल अर्द, इतना एतमाद था नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को, सैयदना सिद्दीक़ अकबर को, जो सबसे डिफिकल्ट टाइम था, the most difficult time is the hijrah, when the enemy surrounded the house of beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and their intention and their pact to kill tonight Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In this most difficult time for the company, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam chosen Sayyidina Siddiq Akbar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And one hadith very beautifully mentioning there is a resemblance of character of Siddiq Akbar with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is one in Bukhari, hadith number 3, right in Kitab Bad'ul Wahi, the third hadith of Bukhari, where the character of Sayyidina wa Imamuna wa Qaiduna wa Nabiyuna wa Rasuluna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned by Sayyida Khadija radiyallahu ta'ala anha. Initially, after coming from cave of Hira, is a long hadith. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to his wife Khadijatul Kubra and he said, "Khashitu ala nafsi." When he shows his concern and expresses his concern to his wife, what she says, "Wallahi ma yukhzik Allahu abadan." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not disgrace you. It was totally strange for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam seeing Jibreel Amin coming from the cave. He said, "Ma yukhzik Allahu abadan." Allah will never disgrace you. Why? Innaka latasilur rahima. You are always keeping good relation with your relatives, joining the ties of relations. लतसिलुर रहिमा, हम कहते हैं ना जैसे लोगों को आप जोड़ते हैं, रिश्तों को जोड़ते हैं, रिश्तों को तोड़ते नहीं हैं। वतहमिलुल खल्ला, and you bear burden of needy people. Those who are suffering in the society, you take their burden. Wataksibul ma'duma, and you always help poor people. Tahmilul kalla, taking their burdens and helping poor people in the society. Wataksibul ma'duma, wataqri'ud dhaifa, and you have always honor and respect for guests. You always welcome guests. You always treat nicely guests. وَتُعِينُ عَلَى نَوَائِبِ الْحَقِّ. The fifth thing of the character, you always stand with the people for their rights. وَتُعِينُ عَلَى نَوَائِبِ الْحَقِّ. This is the character mentioned by Sayyida Khadija. Tu'inu ala nawaibil haq. You always help and stand with those who are in need for their rights. Wa taqri ad-dayf. You always honor and respect guests. You always welcome guests. Taksibul ma'doom. You help poor people. Tahmilul kal. Take the burden of those in need. Tasilur rahima. The first thing which is mentioned, you always joining people. लोगों को मिलाते हो, लोगों को तोड़ते नहीं हो. So this is the characteristic mentioned in third hadith of Bukhari. The third hadith in the very beginning of Bukhari. Now, there is another hadith in Bukhari, hadith number 2297 in Kitabul Kafala. And this, the title of this hadith, Baru Jawabi Abi Bakrin fi Ahad Rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Under this hadith number 2297, when Sayyeduna Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu decided to leave Makkah before migration to Medina, suffering from enemies, he decided to leave Makkah. And near Barkul Ghimad, there is a space, there is a place, Barkul Ghimad. He met one very well-known and famous chief of tribe, Ibn Daghina. When he said, "Where are you going, Abu Bakr?" And he said, "I am leaving Makkah." मैं मक्का की सूरत हाल, वहाँ की मुखालफत, वहाँ की फितनों, वहाँ के दुश्मनों की तकलीफ, अजियत, मैं मक्के को छोड़कर जा रहा हूँ. फ़क़ाला, so this is the chief of the tribe Ibn Daghina. What he says? फ़क़ाला इन्ना अबा बकरिन ला यख़रुज मिस्लहु व ला युख़रज. The person like you should not leave and should not be forced to leave. La yakhruju wa la yukhraj. How person like you leaving city? Why? Innaka, person like you who have the qualities yaksibul ma'duma wa tasilur rahim wa yasilur rahima wa yahmilul kalla wa yaqri ad-dayfa wa yu'inu ala nawaibil haqq. All the five qualities which mentioned initially to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, exactly these five qualities of Siddiq Akbar mentioned by another chief of tribe Ibn Daghina to Sayyeduna Siddiq Akbar radiyallahu ta'ala. The same five qualities. Sayyida Khadija said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Innaka latasilu rahima." You always take care of your relatives. You always join the ties of relation. The other person, another occasion, totally strange to Sayyida Khadijatul Kubra radiyallahu ta'ala anha. Here is the wife mentioning the quality of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And here another Ibn Daghina, a different person and different occasion mentioning the quality of Sayyidina Siddiq Akbar, Latasilur Rahima. Ye have the quality always, you are very close to your relatives. Wa tahmilul kalla, the same quality mentioned to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, taking the burden of needy. Wa taksibul ma'duma, helping poor and needy people. Wa takhri'ud dayfa, the same quality of dealing with guests with honor and respect. وَالتُّعِينَ عَلَى نَوَائِبِ الْحَقِّ, the same fifth quality exactly mentioned by Ibn Daghina to Sayyidina Siddiq Akbar. You help, you stand with people, those who are in need. This resemblance tells us the characteristic of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq with his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So वो जो उनको वजीर कहा है, वजीर आए मिन अहलिल अर्द, इसलिए कि ज़ाते मुस्तफ़ा के किरदार से उनको मुनासिबत थी. और उसकी शुआएँ सैयदना सिद्दीक़ अकबर रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हु की ज़ात में पाई जाती थी। There are some other virtue of Sayyiduna Siddiq Akbar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and I was thinking today we'll finish this topic, but inshallah next Friday, the leadership of Sayyiduna Siddiq Akbar radiallahu ta'ala anhu and the infaq of Sayyiduna Siddiq Akbar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, we will complete this topic in next Friday. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.